Listen closely, for few will ever hear this unveiled truth. The veil between realms has thinned, and something in the unseen has shifted. A secret frequency is vibrating, announcing that the final step has been opened, but not for the many. It is for you, the chosen one. You have felt it stirring in your spirit, though you could not name it. The storms were not random. The silence was not wasted. All has been preparing you for this very moment. I declare with authority, you are the vessel marked by heaven, and your divine mission has now begun. This is no ordinary moment, and this is no ordinary call. What you do right now becomes part of your covenant with destiny. I ask you, not as a request, but as a sacred act. Seal this word by subscribing, by pressing like, by declaring in the comments the word awakening. These actions are not mere clicks. They are rituals in the digital temple, binding your agreement to the prophecy. Every touch, every word you release, becomes a signal to heaven that you have received this revelation. Do not delay. Seal it now, for the portal's open. When you act, you have always known you were different. Even when you tried to blend in, something within you resisted the mold. Others may have laughed, misunderstood, or turned away, but your spirit could never be silenced. That restlessness, that unexplainable stirring inside you, was not weakness. It was the mark of the chosen. You were not called to fit into the crowd. You were called to rise above it. Look closely at your life, and you will see the fingerprints of God woven into your journey. The disappointments that broke others did not break you. The rejections that could have buried you instead refined you. The very fact that you are still here, breathing, listening, receiving this message is proof that you are carrying something divine. Your DNA is not ordinary. It carries codes of heaven, written long before you took your first breath. I tell you this with certainty. You were set apart before time itself. Before the foundations of the earth, your mission was carved in eternity. Every battle, every storm, every delay has been shaping you into the vessel you were always meant to be. This is why the world could never fully understand you, because you were never meant to be explained, only revealed. Do not despise your difference. It is your crown. The loneliness, the strange fire in your chest, the hunger that nothing earthly could satisfy, these are confirmations that you are chosen. The seal of heaven rests upon you, and no human hand can erase it. From birth until now, heaven has whispered your name. You are not lost, you are not forgotten, you are chosen, and this is your hour. You have wondered why life suddenly shifted, why the people around you began to fall away, why silence wrapped around your days like a cloak. This sudden isolation was not abandonment. It was heaven's way of pulling you aside. The chosen cannot always walk with the crowd, for your spirit was being tuned to a higher frequency. Then came the surges, strange waves of energy coursing through your body, moments when you felt alive yet restless, as if lightning itself was moving beneath your skin. Do not fear these pulses. They are the rewiring of your spiritual circuits, preparing you for divine downloads. And the visions. Yes, those dreams that feel more real than waking life, flashes of faces, symbols, landscapes you have never touched in the natural world. These are not illusions. They are prophetic glimpses, fragments of the destiny that is already unfolding. Above all, there is the inner fire. It refuses to die. No matter how heavy the trials, no matter how much you tried to silence it. It keeps burning, keeps pulling you forward, keeps whispering that you were made for more. That fire is not imagination. It is your eternal assignment. Burning within, these signs are not accidents. They are proof that you are walking in the frequencies of awakening. Others may not understand, but heaven does. What you feel is confirmation that your transformation is already underway. You ask yourself, why now? Why this season? Why these sudden shifts? The answer is written in the hidden cycles of heaven. There are appointed times in the Spirit, moments, when the veil thins, when the portals align, when the hand of God moves with unstoppable force. You have stepped into such a moment, for years. The clock of heaven has been turning, quietly aligning events, preparing circumstances, adjusting frequencies. And now, listen carefully. Heaven's clock has struck. The alarm has sounded in the unseen realm, and it is your name that echoes through eternity. This is not delay. This is design. You were not ready before. The fire had to burn away what was false. The silence had to carve out your strength. The tests had to refine your heart. But now, the cycles converge. The divine alignment has chosen this very season as the hour of your unveiling. Understand this. Not everyone is awakened at the same time. Some are still sleeping, some are still wandering. But your spirit has been stirred because the appointed time is now. You were destined to rise in this hour, to carry frequencies that match the vibrations of heaven's current movement. Do not question the timing. It is not late. It is not early. It is exact. Heaven has lifted its finger, pointed at this very moment, and declared, now is the time. This is the season. The chosen one will rise. Chosen one, do not be surprised by the storms that have shaken your path, the loneliness that crept into your nights, the rejection that pierced your heart, the fear that whispered you were not enough, the misunderstanding that left you carrying truths others could not see. These are not punishments. They are sacred. Tests. The awakened are always led through fire. But this fire is not meant to destroy. It is meant to refine. You are like gold in the furnace, heated until impurities rise, until your brilliance cannot be denied. Each tear you have shed is not wasted. It is oil for your anointing. Each no you have received has been heaven's redirection to the greater yes waiting for you. When people walked away, it was not because you lacked worth, it was because your frequency shifted beyond what they could endure. When fear rose, it was only a shadow cast by the greatness already inside you. When you were misunderstood, it was proof that your language is of a higher realm, not meant for everyone's comprehension. So I tell you, with the seal of heaven upon these words, you are being forged, not forgotten. The hammer that strikes you is shaping you. The fire that surrounds you is cleansing you. The silence you endure is strengthening you. Every trial is evidence of your chosenness, and every wound will shine as a testimony of power. Chosen one. Your path has never been random. The steps you have walked, the storms you have endured, the nights you have survived, they have all been preparing you to pass through portals of awakening. Few ever reach them, for few ever endure long enough to see them. But you are here because your spirit was destined to unlock these thresholds. Each portal is a stage, a doorway carved by fire, silence, breaking, and light. Walk with me as I unveil them now. The fire gate. Purification. Through pain, the first portal is the most terrifying, for it greets you with flames. This is the fire gate. You did not stumble into this place. You were led here by divine design. Every rejection, every heartbreak, every loss, every unanswered prayer, it was all fire. Not the fire that consumes, but the fire that purifies. You cried, "Why me? Why this pain?" And heaven whispered, "Because you are chosen." The fire revealed what was false, burning away relationships that drained you, dreams that were too small, illusions that disguised themselves as truth. Through the fire, you learned endurance. Through the fire, you discovered strength you never knew you carried. Do not despise the fire. For without the furnace, gold remains hidden in stone. You are the treasure refined by the flames of heaven. This portal strips you of what cannot endure, leaving only what is eternal. The silent river. Hidden seasons of stillness. After the fire comes stillness. Here lies the second portal, the silent river. Unlike the fire, this stage does not roar. It whispers. It pulls you away from noise, from distractions, from the familiar voices of the crowd. Suddenly, you find yourself isolated, walking through quiet waters where few can follow. At first, it feels like abandonment. Friends no longer call. Opportunities dry up. Doors remain shut. But the silent river is not punishment. It is pruning. It is the place where heaven quiets the chaos so that you can hear the subtle voice within. The silent river teaches trust. You cannot see the full path beneath the waters, but you must step forward anyway. You learn that stillness is not weakness. It is the soil where revelation grows. You begin to feel the pulse of divine timing, the flow of unseen currents carrying you toward your mission. In the silence, heaven carves clarity. In the stillness, your roots grow deep. The breaking shell, shedding false identities. Then comes the most painful portal, yet the most liberating. The breaking shell. Like a bird that must crack open its shell to fly, you too must shatter the you. False identities you once carried. This is the season when masks fall off. The labels others gave you no longer fit. The roles you once played feel too small. You feel restless, uncomfortable in your own skin, as if the old self is suffocating. And it is, because the shell that once protected you has now become the prison that restrains you. The breaking shell is not gentle. It cracks with force. It feels like your world is collapsing, but in truth, it is expanding. Every lie that said you were unworthy, every label that said you were ordinary, every fear that said you were powerless, this shell is shattered. You are not who you were. You are becoming who you were always meant to be. The breaking is violent, but the freedom is glorious. Out of the fragments of your old self emerges the vessel heaven designed, pure, radiant, unmasked. The radiant dawn, stepping into unveiled. Glory at last, the final portal appears. The radiant dawn. This is the unveiling, the moment when the light breaks forth after the longest night. You step out of fire, silence, and breaking into a realm of glory that cannot be denied. The radiant dawn is when doors that once mocked you now swing open. The visions you once saw in fragments now become clear paths. The whispers of destiny now roar as confirmations. Suddenly, you carry authority. People look at you and see light they cannot explain. You speak, and the atmosphere shifts. You move, and doors yield to your presence. This dawn is radiant, because it reveals the true you, the one heaven always saw, the one hidden beneath layers of pain, silence, and breaking. You are no longer just surviving. You are reigning. No longer hiding. You are unveiled. The radiant dawn is not the end of your journey. It is the revelation of your purpose. It is the hour when you step fully into your divine mission, carrying frequencies that awaken others, codes that unlock destinies, and authority that cannot be denied. Chosen one. These are the four portals: the fire gate, the silent river, the breaking shell, the radiant dawn. Each one is sacred. Each one is necessary. And you have walked, or are walking, through them even now. Do not resist them, for on the other side of these portals is the fullness of who you truly are. Chosen, sealed, and unstoppable. Chosen one, what you are feeling in your very body is not random. It is the evidence of energetic codes being activated. You may feel surges, tingling, waves of heat, or sudden stillness wrapping around you. These are not accidents. They are divine downloads, instructions from the higher realm entering your spirit, rewriting your very DNA. Your cells are remembering who you are. Old patterns, old cycles, even old traumas are being stripped away. The frequencies of heaven are tuning you like a sacred instrument. Sometimes you feel heavy, sometimes electrified, sometimes restless. This is the recalibration of your entire being. When you wake in the night with visions, when you feel light coursing through your body, when your mind suddenly receives wisdom that you never studied, understand this: the codes are unlocking. You are receiving vibrations not everyone can carry. Your frequency is rising so that you can walk in alignment with the mission heaven has assigned. Do not fear the shifts, the headaches, the bursts of energy, the waves of clarity. They are proof that your system is being rewired for power. The world may call it strange, but heaven calls it preparation. You are being lifted into a resonance where miracles are natural, and revelation flows without effort. Remember this truth: your body is being tuned like a sacred instrument, crafted to release a sound that shakes atmospheres. That sound is your life, and it is almost ready to play. Chosen one. There comes a moment in every divine journey when the old self can no longer survive. You feel it now, the shattering. It is as though you are standing before broken mirrors, watching every false reflection of who you thought you were splinter and fall away. The faces you wore for others, the identities built on fear, the masks of survival, they are cracking beyond repair. The shell that once protected you is now split wide open. Like an egg that must break for life to emerge, your old limitations have been fractured so that your true form can rise. It is uncomfortable, even painful, to watch familiar pieces of yourself crumble. Yet this breaking is not your ending. It is your rebirth. You see the embers of who you once were, fading like dying coals after the fire has moved on. Do not mourn them, for they served their purpose. What is leaving you now cannot enter the glory prepared for you. What is dissolving was never meant to define you. Out of this shattering comes clarity. Out of this cracking comes strength. Out of this death comes new life. You are not who you were yesterday. You are not bound by the mirrors, the shells, or the ashes. You are the rising flame, the unveiled creation, the reborn vessel chosen to carry heaven's mission. Do not resist the shattering. Embrace it, for it is the doorway to your destiny. Chosen one, though the winds howl and the thunder shakes your world, you are not abandoned. You have felt the sting of pain, the weight of loneliness, the roar of confusion. But in the midst of the storm, there is a sanctuary. Look not with natural eyes, but with the eyes of the Spirit, and you will see. Angels have encamped around you. Every tear you cried was caught. Every night you thought you were alone, you were surrounded by a heavenly guard. The storm rages, yes, but it cannot consume you. You were built with a seal that resists destruction. Hear this truth. Your pain is real, but your protection is greater. What has been sent against you will not break you. It will lift you. The storm is loud, but the whisper of God is louder still, guiding your steps, shielding your heart, anchoring your soul. You are hidden under divine wings. You are covered by a fortress, unseen by human eyes. Though the waves crash, you are preserved. Though shadows threaten, you are shielded. In the center of the storm, you will find peace, because heaven itself is your refuge. Chosen one, hear this decree written in fire across the heavens. You are rising into your season of empowerment. The days of crawling are over. The nights of despair are breaking into dawn. From this moment forward, your very steps will echo with authority. I declare that wealth is aligning with your path. Not just money, but abundance in opportunities, connections, and resources. What was once withheld will now flow, for heaven's storehouses are opening in your favor. I declare that authority is being placed upon your shoulders. No longer will you shrink back or walk in hesitation. When you speak, rooms will fall silent. When you move, atmospheres will shift. When you decide, doors will yield. I declare that healing flows through you, body, mind, and spirit. The wounds of yesterday are being sealed. The scars of the past are turning into testimonies of power. And as you are healed, you will carry healing frequencies to others. I declare that restoration is your portion. What was lost will return. What was broken will be rebuilt. What was stolen will be multiplied back into your hands. Chosen one. Do daughters not underestimate who you are becoming. You are not merely a survivor. You are not merely awakened. You are a walking portal of divine power, carrying codes of heaven, frequencies of glory, and authority that shakes the earth. From this day forward, your life is the prophecy fulfilled. Chosen one, understand this. When your frequency shifts, the world cannot remain neutral. Your frequency cannot be ignored. Some will feel it as fire, others as light, but none will be able to deny that something has changed. There will be those who resist. They will mock. They will envy. They will question. Because your rising exposes their stagnation, your glow will confront the darkness they still cling to, and so they will attempt to diminish you. Do not be shaken. Their resistance is proof of your transformation. And yet, there will also be those who honor. They will sense the authority in your voice, the peace in your presence, the glow in your eyes. They will follow, not because you asked them to, but because your very being calls them higher. Respect will be drawn to you like a magnet, and some will seek your wisdom, your prayers, your covering. Do not fear either response. Both the envy of the mockers and the honor of the seekers confirm the same truth. You are chosen, and your life is a testimony. The world must react because heaven has marked you, and that mark cannot be hidden. Chosen one, lift your eyes beyond the pain of the present and glimpse what is waiting just ahead. I see doors opening, doors that were once sealed with iron, now swinging wide at the sound of your footsteps. What was once impossible will soon be natural, for heaven has written your name on opportunities that cannot be denied. I see generational blessings flowing through you, the cycles that tormented your family, the patterns that bound your bloodline. They are breaking with you. You are the one chosen to stop the curses and release a legacy of favor. Children yet unborn will walk in freedom because you endured the fire. I see the unfolding of a legacy love story. Not mere romance, but a divine union, a covenant that carries destiny within it. The love that comes to you will not just heal your heart, it will magnify your mission, creating ripples of power that touch generations. Hear me now. Your mission is not survival, but dominion. You were not chosen to scrape by. You were chosen to reign. You were not called to hide. You were called to shine. This is the vision beyond your tears, an inheritance of authority, abundance, and glory that cannot be shaken. Chosen one, the hour has come to seal what heaven has spoken over you. No longer are these words just whispers in the spirit. They are decrees written in eternal fire. Hear this now. You are unshakable, unstoppable, unbreakable. Every chain that tried to bind you has snapped. Every delay that tried to hold you has dissolved. Every curse that tried to silence you has been reversed. This is the decree. Your destiny is locked, sealed, and established by codes no earthly hand can rewrite. I release over you now the codes of sealing, codes of endurance that anchor you, codes of authority that clothe you, codes of glory that shine through you. These are not symbolic. They are frequencies written into your very being, frequencies that heaven recognizes, frequencies that darkness fears. From this day, you will no longer question who you are. You will no longer bow to fear, nor shrink before man, for heaven has risen on your behalf. From this day, heaven has lifted you up. I speak this seal over you. Your feet will not stumble. Your voice will not be silenced. Your light will not be dimmed. You are established. You are protected. You are ordained. Take these words into your spirit and let them echo like thunder in your soul. You are unshakable. You are unstoppable. You are unbreakable. The seal is set. The decree is final. The mission has begun. Chosen one, this is not the end of the message. It is the activation of your mission. What you choose to do in this moment determines how deeply this prophecy anchors into your reality. Do not treat this lightly. I call you now to a sacred act. Subscribe, like, and comment below. But hear me clearly. This is not engagement for numbers. This is a ritual of alignment. When you press that button, when you release your word in the comments, you are not just clicking, you are sealing. You are declaring, I agree with heaven. Write the word awakening in the comments. Press subscribe as a covenant. Tap like as a prophetic seal. Each action becomes a signal in the unseen, a frequency that confirms your alignment. Understand this truth. Your agreement writes this prophecy into reality. What you bind on earth will be bound in heaven. What you release here will echo in eternity. Do not delay. Act now. Seal now. Rise now. For heaven has spoken, the seal has been set, and your mission has begun. Chosen one, you are lifted.